your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. I won't do the things I don't believe in. I don't care about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Pinnacle Junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Pinnacle Junction. I will return.
Message deleted.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage, Highway 20 at Satsuma Road in Niceville. Also, the turn lane is blocked due to an accident on West Fairfield Drive at North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola. We have some congestion on Foley Beach Express from Highway 59 to Canal Road. It's a 19-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. You'll find everything for pre-trip maintenance and essentials like emergency roadside kits. Shop SummitRacing.com and enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, COIN. That's COIN. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Henry, may the force be with you.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. I really appreciate you listening. I really do. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. And once again, here we are. Here we are together. Just the two of us, me and you, together trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on in the world around us? What's gotten into people? It's just people are getting weirder and weirder, aren't they? And this is just, and we got one of these days where it gets even weirder because of, it's May the 4th. And yes, there's important stuff to talk about, and I'll get to it. I've got great messages from listeners, a lot of big issues to talk about on the Uncle Henry Show. But today, May the 4th, and so a lot of childish adults going around saying, May the 4th be with you, making it Star Wars Day, creating a fake holiday for their childishness of adults loving Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. I am just about fed up with it. And I think we may be nearing the end of it. I never thought I'd say that. But I think people are getting over it, and eventually, because all the new Star Wars stuff has been so awful, it's just gotten progressively worser and worser and lousier and lousier. That I think we're going to get to the point where people stop. I may live to see a day where we don't have a bunch of childish adults and nerds running around saying, "May the 4th be with you." Or if we still have them, they'll be treated as the outcasts they should be treated as in the future. And I apologize for bringing it up, but it does get on my nerves, as it should. It should get on your nerves as well. That a movie that came out in the 1970s and now we've reached a point where there's adults buying action figures and going to theme parks to pretend they're in the movie. It's just absolutely nothing that adults should be involved in, and it should be for children under the age of 5 only. And for those, I don't know, maybe there's a young person being forced to listen to the Uncle Henry Show because they're taking care of an elderly adult. Maybe you're some caregiver in an assisted living facility under the age of 30. Maybe you weren't around when these movies came out. The Star Wars garbage came out in the 1970s. I want to make sure you understand something about the Star Wars that probably older people are not explaining to you properly. But the movie came out in the 1970s, this Star Wars thing, and it became incredibly popular, just incredibly popular. But it was not popular really because it was great. It wasn't popular because the story was better than anything. We had never seen a story like this. This is such a brilliant story. My goodness, it's brilliant. No, it wasn't because it was we had never seen anything like it. In fact, it was a rehash of old movie serials from way back when I was a kid. Back when people would go to the movies, and they would have movie serials. It was very much like cliffhanger movie serials from the 1940s, 1930s. It wasn't new. No, the reason it became popular, the reason it was a sensation in the 1970s was the special effects. Now, it looks like nothing to you these days. In modern times, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look special. But back then, people were just blown away by the special effects. It looked like there was it looked like they were flying around in outer space. They'd never seen anything like it. It was a visual spectacle. Now, again, today, it looks just ordinary to you. But back then, before that, if you wanted to create a movie and pretend that people were flying around in a spaceship, you had to paint little models. You had to build a little model of a spaceship and then hang it on a fishing wire up in front of a black velvet on a wall, and then and just angle the camera just right, and you pray that the fishing wire doesn't get picked up. Star Trek, for as superior as it was to Star Wars in every respect, the special effects were just very basic. It just, you could tell I'm looking at a wooden model hanging on a fishing wire, and there is William Shatner walking around. He's talking to an alien that has something taped to his face. I mean, it was really just rudimentary. So that's why people went wild over the special effects. It didn't have anything to do with the quality of the story. There's plenty of much better stories out there. In fact, we don't need this Star Wars stuff. We've got, in America, we've got so many great, we've got all these other great stories. You got Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and The Last of the Mohicans. We got all the Westerns that would be much better. Any Western would be better than it. But don't be tricked into thinking this was good. It's never been this good. No. It's been better. It's better before and better after. They just had better special effects, and that's the only reason it became popular. And then it became all these people taking their kids to it, and I guess it gave people some kind of a substitute for religion. Instead of saying, may the Lord be with you, it was, may the force be with you. Again, it was a convenient way to sidestep religion. But no, it's not. Look, that's the truth of the matter. That's the cold, hard truth. It stank. It just was not, it's not better than anything else. And the fact that it has become what it has become and is so nasty, and they got stuff in Star Wars now. Some of the stuff in Star Wars now I wouldn't even want to talk about on the radio. It's so nasty. But I pray that one day I ain't going to be talking about it no more. And if Disney keeps putting out the garbage they're putting out with it, it may go extinct before I pass on, which would be a blessing. All right, I'm going to get into actual real issues after the break.
Watch for a crash with road blockage, Highway 20 at Satsuma Road in Niceville. Also, the turn lane is blocked due to an accident on West Fairfield Drive at North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola. We have some congestion on Foley Beach Express from Highway 59 to Canal Road. It's a 19-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Thank you for looking in on the Uncle Henry Show. On YouTube, I'm about to activate the YouTube on my desktop and see if anybody is actually watching. Or not. Ooh, I missed the City of Mobile's live stream of the Board of Adjustment meeting. That would have been exciting. Well, I see a small number of people looking in today. Thank you for looking in on the program. The Love Freak 69, hello to you. Norman Richardson, God bless you. Thank you for looking in, Norman Richardson. I appreciate that very much. Richard Harvey, good to see you. Ben Griffin. Excalibur 14, hello to you. Bama Big Man, hello to you. KP of shirtbutter.com. A happy birthday to your oldest. Art, yes, Art Flash Gordon Superior. Larry Morting, hello to you. Spencer Smith, the very muscular and aggressive drummer for Skyline Soul, hello to you. I'm going to be back on the radio here in just a few moments. Got a caller waiting, and I've also got messages that I'm going to be getting into, perhaps from listeners that have phoned them in. Pat Nelly, God bless. Pat Nelly left an insightful. I don't know if it's insightful. I haven't listened to it yet. But Pat Nelly left a voicemail. That's always a treat. Ben Griffin, I don't know if I even want to watch movies anymore. I'd rather just go on YouTube and find fight scenes. There's a Jason Statham fight scene where he's in a casino and beats up half the people in the casino. It's very exciting. All right, back on the radio here in about a minute and a half. Let me see what I can tell you while waiting to go back on the radio. There was some weird news today. I don't know if I can believe the weird news because so much of it comes out of China. And I wonder if they're telling us, I wonder if there's people creating fake weird news knowing that I can't check it because it's allegedly happened in China. For example, Chinese court rules a company cannot fire a worker because of AI. Now, how could that? Everything I've been taught since childhood is that the Chinese don't have courts that help people. How could that be true? All right, back on the radio here in about 10 seconds.
Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Got a lot to get into on the Uncle Henry Show, but I do have callers waiting. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, do you see how easy it is to fool black people?
What do you mean?
The Supreme Court issue.
Yes.
During the time that blacks were being disenfranchised, that was when the Republicans, largely a small group, were fighting for civil rights and against Jim Crow for the black people.
Right.
So it was so that the lines needed to have been drawn. But when in the early 60s, when Lyndon Van Johnson made this statement of, with the New Deal, if I could get these N-words to vote Democrat one time, they'll never vote Democrat again. Well, now the Democrat Party has the leftists, the lunatic liberals, they have the KKK, the Aryan Brotherhood, everybody that was voting against the Republicans on all the issues, they got on their side now. So they're not being disenfranchised. Matter of fact, they got all the black voters. They tricked them, and now you got every evil organization, and all of these are voting Democrat. There's no need to be upset about being disenfranchised because that's a lie.
Do you think people really believe it, or are they just repeating what they're hearing?
I think it's a lot of money being spent on some of these things, but it's still truly amazing how people don't realize or don't understand anything about politics, but they will open their mouths.
Well, we've been doing that for years.
Yes, sir. My mama was a stickler on books. Read them. There's things in there that you need to know. And if you're going to talk about politics, even if you're a man of God or a preacher, you need to know what you're talking about. Other than that, you're going to be lying to your congregation. And that's what's going on now. There is no disenfranchising going on. They got more than half the population voting Democrat. I don't know what they're complaining about.
Well, they want the entire look. eventually the plan is for all of us to be together and just be poor together, Cliff, and not worry about who's leading us. We'll just do what we're told.
Yes, but if lack of knowledge is what's killing black people right now. Everything that's going on, we were about to see Supreme Court, but we shooting each other like jackrabbits in hunting season. But that's not a problem. You have a blessed day, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, thank you very much for your phone call. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Hello, caller. And just lost the caller. That's okay. Let me try again. Hello, caller. All right, I lost the caller again. I'm getting hung up on repeat. Maybe it's an angry Star Wars fan. Let me try an additional time. Hello, caller. All right, there we go. I like the sound. Isn't it an interesting sound when I get hung up on? Let me see if I can do it again. Hello? All right, well, I got hung up on again. Now, the phone, by the way, it could be a phone issue. Cliff called in successfully. But earlier today, I was giving away some tickets, some concert tickets on 95 KSJ as part of my FM disc jockey job, taking multiple jobs to try and survive in today's economy. And our phone system did go kablooey. And that is a technical term for all of the, we couldn't get any phone calls in or out. And something had to be rebooted. I called the engineer. Anyway, I only hope that I can get more calls on the program. Let me try again. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, finally the phone is working. Hello, caller. You are live on the radio.
That's awesome. Hey, you're absolutely right. Star Wars is bad.
It is stupid.
George Lucas didn't care about any of his actors in the movie show.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he treated them bad. Of course, you know that since Jabba the Hutt was played by your mother.
Oh, would you just cut it out? You know, that is, again, now see, you've illustrated my point for me. A Star Wars fan can only, there's never, this is not the wit level of the Algonquin Round Table, Dorothy Parker, or any of these people. We have Jabba the Hutt. And that's it. There's nowhere else to go in the Star Wars universe. You know, you Star Wars people with your Star Wars toys, you adults with your Star Wars toys and your Star Wars clothes, and you got your Star Wars underwear and your Star Wars sheets and all of the Star Wars stuff in your house. You've probably got Star Wars curtains on your window, and then you go down to the Star Wars theme park and spend all the money to get your Star Wars hat and all this kind of stuff. What would there be if there was some type of Bible Land theme park? Would you go to Bible Land and buy a Bible hat? And instead of one of your little light sticks, would you buy a new Bible and bring it home with you? Think about it. Would you? I don't know that you would. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. That's what they need to do. Right, as close to Disney World as possible. Set up something about the Lord. Create something and just see. And that would be a good indication of where the world is. How many people go to the Bible Land versus go to the Disney World? That would be a good indication of where we are in society. People are willing to buy these light sticks, but do they have new glowing Bibles? That would be a good item, by the way, a glow-in-the-dark Bible. 251-479-2. Oh, I'm already going into a break. If I had the investment capital, I'd try to build some type of Bible theme park. And I would have Bibles that would glow just like those dadgum light sticks that they're hitting each other with.
Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
If you're traveling in Niceville, watch for an accident with road blockage, Highway 20 at Satsuma Road. Also, the turn lane is blocked on West Fairfield Drive at North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola. And watch for slowing on Highway 31 from Highway 59 to Spanish Fort. It's a 15-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. The ceasefire in the Iran war faces its most critical moment yet. Ships beginning to sail through the Strait of Hormuz as part of a U.S. operation to free up the critical shipping lane. Fox's Jared Halpern.
The president announced Project Freedom to reopen the narrow waterway controlled by Iran since the launch of Operation Epic Fury in February. President Trump says 7 small Iranian boats have been downed by the U.S.
A senior Iranian military official disputing U.S. claims. Investigators in Oklahoma searching for suspects. At least 23 people were injured during a lake party during a shooting north of Oklahoma City. Edmond Mayor Mark Nash.
Edmond is strong, engaged, and resilient. We look out for one another, and when challenges arise, we address them directly and responsibly.
Police say there have been no arrests. America is listening to Fox News.
U.S. Central Command says the U.S. and Iran traded fire in the Strait of Hormuz today. It comes as U.S. forces launched Project Freedom to wrestle away control of the Strait of Hormuz from Iran. NBC's Alice Barr reports Iran's military command today warned foreign forces they will be subject to attack if they approach or enter the Strait of Hormuz.
Iranian state media later claimed Iranian forces stopped a U.S. destroyer from entering the strait. The U.S. military denies that and says it now has destroyers operating in the Gulf and helping ships pass.
CENTCOM leader Admiral Brad Cooper says the fire came from Iranian small boats and all 6 of them were destroyed in retaliation. President Trump is calling small businesses the lifeblood of America.
36 million small businesses who create 40% of all economic activity in the United States. Think of that. A group of people added together. You're essentially the most important factor business-wise in the whole country.
The president held a summit for small businesses at the White House this afternoon. Mail-order access to an abortion pill is being restored by the Supreme Court for now.
The High Court issued an emergency order Monday to give the justices more time to consider the issue after a federal 3-judge panel stopped a federal rule Friday that allowed mifepristone to be prescribed through telemedicine and then delivered by mail. That ruling's now been paused until at least...
I want to know how to process my microphone to sound like the abortion reporter.
Court overturned Roe v. Wade. I'm Scott Carr in Washington.
The Secret Service says law enforcement shot an individual not far from the White House. It happened near the Washington Monument, a mile away from the White House. The Secret Service, however, says the condition of the person shot currently unknown. I'm Jim Roop.
Senator Katie Britt.
All right. Oh, we got that politics music in there.
To help President Trump.
That's the kind of music Alabamians listen to when they go to vote.
Congress.
He is the American.
All right. Back on the radio in less than 2 minutes with more Uncle Henry Show. I've got more to get into. Many other topics to get into on the program. Very disgruntled. But I guess it's good. It's not good to be disgruntled, but I guess it is if you have to host a show like this. Maybe I should be grateful that I'm disgruntled. Let me reactivate the YouTube on the desktop and see what is in here. What is going on? If there's anybody left. Yeah, a small number of people looking. Ben Griffin, Space 1999. I like the music. I don't remember if I liked it, but I liked the music. Going to be back on the radio in less than a minute. Let me see, I had a weird news story I wanted to tell you about. In Armenia, residents of Yerevan, Armenia, had reports of a zebra escaping from the city zoo and roaming in the streets of their city. They quickly captured the animal, but it turned out that it was actually a donkey that someone had painted with stripes. Which tells there's not a lot going on in Armenia. Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. You can hear me Monday through Friday on 95 KSJ, playing today's hottest country. Tomorrow is Ticket Tuesday on 95 KSJ, giving away concert tickets throughout the day. I'm starting at 10:15 tomorrow morning with your chance to win tickets to see Willie Nelson and Family in concert at the Wharf in Orange Beach, Saturday, May 16th. I'll have your chance to win Willie Nelson tickets at 10:15 tomorrow morning. And again, an hour later at 11:15 tomorrow morning on our Ticket Tuesday tomorrow on 95 KSJ. Now, the telephone number to call the Uncle Henry Show here is 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, I've already received a voicemail during the show.
Hey, Uncle Henry, this is RT. Yeah, I was just listening to your monologue about Star Wars.
Yes.
And I agree 100% with you.
Yes.
That's just, it's like, it's worse than a cartoon. I'd rather watch Looney Tunes. But I like to give kudos to Star Trek, the original Star Trek. That 3-year season, they have predicted so many truths that are in our everyday life, including our cell phones and talking computers. RT, I'm pausing to say you're absolutely right. And it's something that as each year goes by, more of the technology from that show keeps coming out in our lives. And I have full belief that NASA will achieve warp speed. And once that happens, lots of things are going to change in our world. So kudos. I mean, the acting on the original Star Trek wasn't that great, but the story and the things that are coming reality are. So hats off to William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Roll Tide Roll.
Roll Tide Roll. Now, RT, I do disagree with you on the acting. Now, I think that's what made the show popular is, I mean, they were standing around in front of styrofoam rocks and fighting men in lizard suits and stuff like that. They needed people like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy to bring it to life. But yeah, the technology keeps, and on Star Wars, they don't have the tech. I mean, there's nothing to work toward other than, somehow mastering the Force, whatever that is. Good luck with that. Hello, caller. Hello.
John McNeil.
All right. Well, thank you for that. John McNeil, a great American and a great Mobilian. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. Let me go to a voicemail phoned in from longtime caller Buford.
Hannah, this here's Buford. Well, Hannah and Mrs. Buford sent me a text. She just filled up the family car. It ain't no behemoth vehicle. It's just a little old Toyota Highlander. And $70, Henry.
Yes.
$70 to
Yes.
fill that thing up with gas. Man. Weren't we supposed to be tired of winning by now? But I guess we had to attack Iran. I mean, they were 2 weeks away from having nuclear missiles.
Right.
So they say. Henry, they've been 2 weeks away from having nuclear missiles since I was in high school in the early 90s.
Well, that is also true. They may have a different calendar than us over there. Some type of Persian calendar.
But then I saw another pundit on TV telling me they were chanting death to America.
Yes, they have.
Imagine that, Henry.
Yes.
Henry, they've been.
That's one of the reasons I got mad that we sent them all that money. I thought, come on. I mean, if we're gonna send you money, can you at least take it down a notch?
They've been chanting death to America since the 70s.
Right.
It might have been the last time they were chanting death to America back in the 70s. Henry, it reminds me of Art Slack. Do you remember Art Slack?
I do. Great Mobilian.
Remember when Art Slack was around and when us...
And by the way, before we get into what you're bringing up about Art Slack, Buford, it sounds like you're frustrated with the high gas prices and you're wondering about this Iran war, Epic Fury, which I think Epic Fury, we've now transitioned out of Epic Fury into Project Freedom. Project Freedom, Buford. If you're feeling uneasy about what's going on in Iran, Buford, if you would just turn on Fox News at home and keep it on. Just keep the Fox News on 24/7. You don't even have to actively watch. Just let the Fox News in your house just kind of be on in the background subliminally. Just let the Fox News be on in the background subliminally. And it will begin. I think you'll feel better. I think you'll feel better if you just have the Fox on in the background and let it. Because I tuned into Fox News one night last week, and it was the Sean Hannity show. He said that we'd already won. You may not have realized this, Buford, but according to the Sean Hannity show, we about 97% already won this. It's already won about 97%, Buford. But the key for you to feeling better about paying higher gas prices is just let the Fox News be on in the background. Subliminally, it's important to have it on 24/7 like people over the age of 70 do.
Callers would call in and we'd say that not everybody should vote.
Now, Buford talking about the arts. I remember the show that Buford's talking about with Art Slack, the great World War II veteran that used to come on the show.
When us callers would call in and we'd say that not everybody should vote. You know, that if you were liberal and had purple hair and nose rings, you just need to stay home on election day. Or the big one was if you were on welfare, you should stay home on election day. And boy, Art Slack did not like that at all.
No, he didn't.
That'd get him riled up. He'd say,
yes,
it didn't matter who you were or who you voted for. It was your patriotic American duty,
yes,
to go out and vote on election day. Because all them World War II veterans that didn't come home, they died for your freedom to vote. Henry, that was the thing that was sold to that generation in World War II. That they were dying for freedom and for everybody to vote. And, you know, if Hitler won the war, he'd take away the world's ability to vote. I wonder what my generation and your generation, what have we been sold, Henry? What thing have we been sold to, fall in line and support blowing up people half a world away? And I'm dangerous sounding like a daggum hippie, which I absolutely despise hippies. But I guess it was to get rid of these terrorist organizations. And, we were in Afghanistan for 20 years, and when the day we left.
All right, and then the voicemail cut him off. Buford, look, we're going into the break. Buford, if you're listening, I can hear that you're uneasy with this. If you were to download the Glenn Beck podcast and just play it into your head when you're asleep. If you were to do the same with the Sean Hannity show here on News Radio 710, just download the podcast and listen to it. It'll make you feel better.
Watch for an accident blocking the turn lane on Fairfield Drive at North Pace Boulevard. Also watch for slowing on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59. It's a 17-minute drive. Also heavy congestion on Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, a 48-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you see
YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. Those that are left are going to be back on the radio here in just a few minutes. Thank you for watching. Let me see what kind of weird news I can tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio. There is some that I want to get to. Aside from the zebra, a South Korean man may go to jail for 5 years because he posted an AI-generated picture of a wolf prowling through the city streets. I can't pronounce the name of the city because I'm not South Korean. And I've tried as an American to learn as little about other countries as is possible. But there's a city in South Korea. This guy posted an AI-generated photo of a wolf prowling through the city streets of this city, and authorities there thought it was a real wolf prowling the streets, and they launched a major response. They shut down the schools. It created a school lockdown and an emergency. They had special emergency teams sweeping the city looking for the wolf. So the guy may go to jail for 5 years in South Korea. This is a cautionary tale. Be very careful with your AI-generated images. Oh, that reminds me, I need to mention something about that on the radio. And let's see, here's another weird news story. At the Hampton Inn in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, early this past Saturday morning, someone broke in and forced open they knew what they were doing. They broke into some emergency intercom panel and woke up everybody in the hotel. This is 4 a.m. at the Hampton Inn up there in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They went onto the intercom and broadcast a vulgar a drunken, vulgar, homophobic message. It went through the entire hotel and an attached apartment complex. 4 o'clock in the morning. Police have not arrested. They don't know who it was. They have not arrested anybody, which is odd because you would think a hotel in our country would have a lot of cameras everywhere. So that you would think they would have seen who broke in and done this. But somebody did this, a vulgar, drunken, homophobic rant at 4 o'clock in the morning. There are numerous guests that, of course, want full refunds on their hotel bill because they got awakened at 4 in the morning Saturday morning.
Its installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show, it's 5:50. We have news headlines coming up and then more Uncle Henry Show. I'd mentioned earlier this hour, it was, unfortunately, people have taken a day like May the 4th and they've turned it into this stupid Star Wars day where they say, May the 4th be with you. I just wanted to mention that when I got up this morning and went onto the social media and looked on Facebook, the City of Mobile, the official City of Mobile government Facebook had a picture of downtown Mobile with the Death Star above the RSA Tower. Now, I don't want my tax dollars going to somebody putting pictures of the Death Star hanging over the city that I'm living in. And if you're going to do a tribute to something stupid like Star Wars, make it something harmless and innocuous, like one of the robots or one of the teddy bear people from the third movie. Don't put the Death Star hanging over the RSA Tower. You know, my hope is that whoever did that never watched the movies and they didn't realize that they had put a giant death machine above Mobile. I hope their mind is just naturally simple and not infected by the Star Wars. All right, anyway, don't play. Look, it's the City of Mobile official Facebook. Don't play with it. Don't put the Death Star above the RSA Tower. Hello, caller.
Uncle Henry, how are you?
John, you are live on the radio.
Yes, sir. I just want to give a message to my councilman in District 6, Josh Woods. He's doing a great job, but I have a couple requests. This city got millions of dollars because of the annexation of this area. We also helped push the mayor race into Spiro's direction, so he won. They need to at least resurface Cody, at least resurface another road I can't remember, and they need to put another police station out here because there's not enough police officers. During Mardi Gras, there was no officers. Mardi Gras evening, there was no officers. You could call 911, and it would be 30 minutes. So if he could just focus on Hit Road, that was the other one I was thinking of. Hit Road, Cody, and the extra police officers in this area and a station. A small one would be fine. But they put all this money into downtown, and it's not fair. We brought in the money last year when we were annexed, and we just expect a little bit in return.
I'm with you. Hey, I'm with you completely on that.
That's all I have for today. God bless you, Uncle Henry.
Thank you. Hey, John, thank you very much. And yes, I know incredible things are happening in downtown Mobile, and that's wonderful. A lot of development. But a tremendous amount of the tax dollar has been directed down there. There are many other parts of the city that have been kind of fending for themselves for, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years. I want to look at the rest of the city. I know downtown's wonderful. It's important. But eventually, down the Parkway, I could list a lot of neighborhoods that could use a little help. Let's see. Do I have time? Buford called back. He got cut off, and Buford called back. I don't know if I have time to share his complete message.
Sorry for the long voicemail, Henry. I get a little philosophical and I'm getting fleeced by my government. But as I was saying, you know, we got to get rid of these terroristic organizations in the Middle East.
Yes.
Like the Taliban.
Yes.
Spent 20 years doing that. And the day we left, the Taliban was hanging a feller off of one of our Black Hawk helicopters we left over there.
Right.
I tell you what, Henry, you just wait till this fall when food goes through the roof. Because farmers can't get no fertilizer. Well, they can get fertilizer. It's just like everything else, sky high. But our patriotic farmers, Henry, you know, our patriotic farmers that selling all their farmland to China and data centers, them fellers, they're holding off on planting because it's just not, it's going to cut into their profit margin too much. But don't worry about them patriotic farmers, Henry. I'm sure the government will send some sort of subsidy their way. But in the meantime, I hope you're stocking up on rice and beans. My Lord, Henry, I tell you what.
All right, look, I got to go into the break. Buford, I can hear. If you're feeling uneasy about the direction of all of this, if you just would turn on the Fox News, especially the Hannity show. Even if you're unconscious when it's on, it'll permeate your brain.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. There's an effort now in Congress to expand the District of Columbia
YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I believe I will be at the regular time. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a wonderful, pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Original 10-mile square District of Columbia and would eliminate what he terms as the artificial advantage Virginia Democrats may gain from altering the Commonwealth's congressional maps. Virginia received the southwestern part of what had been D.C., south of the Potomac River in the 1840s. D.C. is not a state, so it lacks